You spent your youth in the library fortress of Candlekeep, under the kind tutelage of your foster father Gorion. Imoen shared this home, a kindred spirit. Her background was as mysterious as your own. Gorion's murder brought answers to your questions when his killer Saravok was revealed to be your brother. You and Saravok were a product of the time of troubles, a chaotic period when gods were made flesh and forced to walk the earth. One such deity foresaw his own death and walked the land before the cataclysm. He left a score of mortal offspring, intended to be the fuel for his rebirth. The god was Baal, Lord of Murder, and you are one of his children. Saravok sought a war of sacrifice to prove his worth, believing he could become the new Lord of Murder. You killed your brother, sending his taint back to Baal. You were the hero of Baldur's Gate, but some suspected you shared the same lineage as Saravok. You departed soon after, under circumstances much darker than anyone would have believed. They came as you rested, figures cloaked in mist that clouded your thoughts, blurring the lines between consciousness and dreaming. There was no malice or hatred, no mention of an old score, only quick capture and the promise of grim deeds to come.
Hello and welcome back. So, we've made it to Baldur's Gate 2. And for those of you who are just joining, we are doing a Cavalier playthrough. We made it through Baldur's Gate 1 and then through Siege of Dragonspear. And now we are going to finish the final two sagas in the Baldur's Gate franchise. That being Shadows of Amn and then Throne of Baal, using our Cavalier. And as with the first two games, we are playing with SCS, which is Sword Coast Stratagems. We have Rogue Rebalancing, Tweaks Anthology, and I did add a new one as well. And it's not exactly a mod. I can't pull it up here because, like I said, it's not a mod. It's an overlay, which means my game has to be played in windowed mode, which sucks. But I'll show you what that is once we get into the game. A couple things to note is that I've decided I'm going to go for a good playthrough. We're going to choose all good characters in this playthrough. And I think I know who I want. I'm pretty sure I know who I want. Let me think about this a second. Yeah, pretty sure I know. I may change things around depending. But let's go ahead and we are going to import the game from Siege of Dragonspear. Our character's name is Thalic. We're going to bring him in. And here are our current stats that we have with all the books and everything else that we got. Unfortunately, I cannot for the life of me get these damn custom portraits working. I'm doing exactly what was supposed to be done. They were working long before, I reinstalled the game, but once I reinstalled the game to get all of the mods that I wanted, for some reason the custom portraits don't work. And I don't know. I give up. So we're using generic portraits and generic voice lines, which is fine. I mean, no big deal. No big deal. We have gone with long swords, two-handed swords. We are going to do halberd as well, two-handed style, and then eventually I think we can get two-weapon style as well. I'm not 100% sure on that, but we'll keep this. We're going to go with
Ha! The power. I grow weary.
There we go. Keeping the name Thalic. And let's go. So, okay. Tactical is the core rules. Enemies continue to use intelligence and targeting, and now use most of their powers and often call for help from nearby enemies. And of course, SCS improves all of this stuff. See, like, you go up to hardcore, a small number of enemies receive a boost to their hit points. Not the end of the world, but not great. Some enemy numbers are increased. I think we're going to go with Insane. Just given the last... Because I don't think they get any major boosts. Like, if you go to Legacy of Ball... they get significantly more hit points. They get improved THACOs, better saving throws. That just does more attacks per round. All that stuff doesn't appeal to me. It's like a phony difficulty. So we're gonna go with Insane. They might get a boost to it, but given how just unbelievably easy and anticlimactic the last boss was in Siege of Dragonspear, we're gonna kick it up a notch. And I know a lot more about Baldur's Gate 2 than I do Baldur's Gate 1. So I'd be more comfortable kicking up the difficulty in this one.
Ah, the child of Ball has awoken. It is time for more experiments. The pain will only be passing. You should survive the process. Interesting. You have much untapped power. Do you even realize your potential?
More intruders have entered the complex, Master.
They act sooner than we had anticipated. No matter, they will only prove a slight delay.
You. Wake up! Come on! We have to get out of here!
What? Emmeline? What's going on? He messed with your head too, huh? All I know is we were near Baldur's Gate and got jumped. I don't think I want to remember it all. He's been doing things to us, Thalic. We have to get out of here. Alright, let's get moving. I ache all over, though. Yeah, me too, but my head hurts the most. Yours too, by the sound of the screaming. We just have to get out of here. We'll get out and we'll figure out what's going on. Good, because I don't want to know... I don't know if I could get loose again if I had to. Not with the pain in my head. It isn't like normal pain, Thalic. It's on the inside, like my bones made a little dagger and it won't go away. Like my bones made a little dagger and it won't go away. Don't look at me like that. It just hurts, alright? Must have been the noise. There was a fight. Assassins came after our captor, I think. There are dead people all over, and the fighting's still going on. I could hear it. Are you going to get moving? Or do I leave without you? Yeah, if you stop talking and let me finish the conversation. Oh, Jesus. Let's just go. All right. So, let's pause here. So you'll notice, I'm sure the first thing you noticed was this off to the side. This is amazing. This is the Baldur's Gate 2 overlay. And what it does is it shows everything that's currently on the map. And this is not a mod. It is something separate that has to be ran over the top of the game, which is why I have to record my specific monitor instead of capturing the game window. I have to record everything that's on the monitor in order for people to be able to see this. So you could, for example, take a look at Thalic, and it's going to pull up this. It's basically a character sheet. It shows every stat, health, how many attacks, armor class, my THAC0. It's great. It shows that I'm immune to charm, horror, morale break, immune to poison. It's got all the information. Right now, it shows what weapons I currently have as well. And since we're no armor or weapons, anything, it's showing that I'm using my fist at a +0. Incredibly awesome. But it also shows it for any enemies as well. So here, we're going to come across the golem in a second. Shows that it's a clay golem, a race of golem. There's all of its stats, all of the resistances, just like with Thalic and all my characters. We can see what the enemy has. It tells me that this clay golem requires a +1 weapon to hit. So normal weapons don't work. It is immune to backstab, immune to spells, lower resistance, pierce magic, pierce shield. It's immune to charm, hold, horror, morale break, modifier, blah, 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 right? Same thing. It's awesome. And it's very handy, especially for new players. So apparently there are some shadow thieves as well. But anyway. And we could close that out, pull it back up at any time. And it's going to be a real challenge for me playing this game in windowed mode. But you got to do what you got to do. So let's take Little Miss Emmeline. Actually, we're going to put her on Thief Controlled. That way she'll look for traps and not cast anything. Go ahead and level her up. So level 2 and a level 5 spell. Ugh. Lightning Bolt. Dangerous spell. Do have summon monster though. Oh, sneeze, hang on. Oh, goodness. Sorry about that. I had to sneeze. But yeah, so I added that to the game because I need that help of showing me what's what. And it's such a handy tool for people who, when, say, you're attacking a creature and you don't know why you're not hitting them, it's not exactly clear as to why.
Fine.
You try to cast a spell. Like, let's say you go up against a Rakshasa, okay? A new player, unless they look it up, they're going to wonder why is this weapon not hitting? Wait a minute. Why did my level 6 spell do nothing? Are they completely magic immune? They don't realize that you have to use they're immune to level 6 spells and below. I think you can hit them with 7 and up. I'll have to double check that once we get to some Rakshasa. But yeah, so
It will be done.
increased difficulty, cool mod, and yeah, let's go.
Gotcha.
Yes, very well.
This is a +1 dagger. Oh, we can identify it. Sweet. So let's pick up the key,
Indeed.
and we'll go pick up Jahira and Minsk. And we're not gonna keep either one of
If
them
you
for this
insist.
playthrough. I'm sorry when the screen starts going crazy. Again, it's windowed mode.
Quickly, we must get out of here before whoever did this returns. I swear, traveling with you is never dull.
Anyway, it's in windowed mode, so whenever I get too far to the left, or I'm sorry, to the right, the mouse goes off to the next monitor, and then the game continues on. And I'm really bad about clipping the edge of the screen and moving it on accident, so just apologies for that. Anyway, do you have any idea why we're here? No, I do not. And I would rather we furthered the investigation at a time that was more in our favor. We have friends to find, and in time, enemies to punish. I will repeat what I believe led to our capture if I must, but I doubt it shall prove to be different than what is already known by you. My husband Khalid and I traveled with you for some seasons now, and the places we have seen number too many to name. Your unique heritage has proven a magnet to adventure, for better or worse, and your foster father was right in directing us to watch over you. We remain in your company as friends more than guardians in our exploits together. So she's kind of giving a rundown for people who haven't played Baldur's Gate 1. And it's just a recap of all that. So I'm gonna try to cut back on reading everything. I haven't really gotten any feedback with people like that, dislike that, or whatever. So in this playthrough, I'm probably gonna summarize certain things that I know instead of reading out everything. We'll figure it out. Anyway, once we know, we'll deal with them in due course, but for the time being, it is more important we retrieve our friends and companions and leave this place. Alright, relax. I think I found the key to release you. You got the key to fix? Then open the door already. Must I hand walk you through this, Jahira? Don't start with bitch mode. Well, that is a relief. And about time, too. We should get going immediately. Not only might our host come back, I simply must see the sun again in none too short a time. This dank place stifles me. You're welcome so long as you remember I am leader. We do as I will. This place is hard in your manner. I do not remember you being so quick with a cold remark. Lead as you wish, but do tread carefully, will you? No. No. You need to watch your horrendous bitch mouth. I absolutely hate Jahira. I truly hate Jahira. Entangle. Ugh. Do Armor of Faith. God. The level 2 druid spells are the worst. They are the worst. Call Lightning does us absolutely no good in here. And I'm not going to get a chance to use any of these, I think, because I'm not Iron Skins. It's basically Stone Skins, and then Insect Plague is amazing. Just on a quick side note. It doesn't make sense to rest in here. So I really don't want to rest if I could avoid it. It just makes no sense. You're trying to get out, there's fighting going on, and to rest for 8 hours seems kind of dumb. All right.
Simple enough.
And Minsk, my man.
Ah, Minsk will be free. These bonds will not hold my wrath, but will be liberally kicked in good measure.
So here, what we're gonna do is just sparing all the conversation. We're gonna piss Minsk off because we don't have a key that could open his cell. It seems to be welded or magically sealed. So we're gonna piss him off, and we're gonna get him to use his berserker strength to bend the bars to escape. Tell him we're gonna leave him here. He gets upset, and we taunt him a little bit more. Keep taunting him.
Bars, they
There we go.
bend and twist with my berserker strength. Minsk and Boo are free. Now you will no. Oh, you are a smart one. I understand now. You said what you did just to get me mad. Mad enough to break free. Ha! You are as smart as Boo sometimes.
Sometimes. Yeah, so we're gonna have him join the party. Skip over some dialogue where it alludes to him hiding his hamster in his ass. He just made the whole conversation awkward. Anyway. And there we go. So in this tutorial dungeon, one thing to note with Imoen, she's got this specific belt. It's Imoen's belt. Imoen does not know when or how she acquired this belt, and despite all of her efforts in magic, it cannot be removed or unbuckled. That belt is plot armor. Quite literally plot armor. If Imoen dies in this dungeon, she panics and she runs away, so she doesn't get killed because she's vital to the story. You know what? I'm gonna try something different here. I'm gonna try to move the camera like this. See if I can get used to that. Mr. Golem? Prisoners, you must not escape. The master does not will it. Wow, a golem. Powerful magic stuff. Odd that it's not hostile. I suppose its maker didn't expect us to escape, so it never got orders to restrain us. They only do exactly what they're directed to. They don't really think. If it hasn't been told to keep quiet, we might get some information out of it. So we're not going to get too much information out of this golem. It's basically just going to tell us we can't escape and to be good little prisoners and go back to our cage. Who is this master you speak of? I am not permitted to speak with prisoners. Return to your cells. It is the master's wish. Where are we and why have we been brought here? You are his prisoners. He has brought you to his home because he owns you now. You must return to your cell. It is the master's will. The master wants me to be free. He's the one who released me. Only I release the master's prisoners. You are his and must return to your cells. It is his wish. I will not return to that cage. Do you think you can stop me from leaving? I am not bound to stop you. The Guardian will stop you from leaving. Return to your cells. It is the master's wish. Who or what is the Guardian? The Guardian will keep you from the master's chambers. You must return to your cells. It is the master's will. So like I said, we don't get anything from this guy, but we did learn a few things about there's something called the Guardian we need to be aware of. And we learned a little bit about golems.
It will be done.
So we're going to pick up some equipment.
A den of stinking
Shut up.
evil. Cover your nose, Boo. We will leave no crevice untouched.
And Jahira, you had what? Scimitar, club, staff, and a sling. We'll pick up some better weapons as we go along, but for now... quarterstaff.
It is done.
Pick up the quarterstaff.
Very
Over here, we'll
well.
get some armor for some folks. No protection against missile. No protection against missile. We're going to put the halberd on Thalic and then the two-handed sword on Minsk. Jahira, take that. So just some basic equipment to get us started. I keep forgetting to use this.
Indeed.
This is awkward using the arrow keys to move the camera. The bodies of several black-hooded thieves litter the hallway, slaughtered by massive release of magical energy. From the distant explosions you could still hear. It seems as if whatever battle killed these men still rages. The machine in the center of the room looks dangerous. Perhaps there is some sort of control device that will allow you to shut it off. And again, this dungeon is like a tutorial dungeon. When you look here, this machine buzzes with electrical energy. So, lightning bolts, and we need to turn it off right here. So we're going to come over here and do that immediately.
Insist.
Alright, so we got that shut off.
Two arms!
Emlyn,
Good to
stay
go.
back for me. There's a big part of me that really does want to rest so I can redo my spells. Because I'm just not going to get a chance to. You know what? Let's do it because there is a unique... it's not a cinematic, but a unique interaction with Emily where she tells you that you basically got a gigantic pair in the fact that you're willing to sleep in a place like this. So let me just redo all my spells. Do I want Entangle? What am I working with here? Let's go Armor, Faith, Bless. Don't need Doom. We'll do 2 blesses. Get out. Definitely get out. You know what? Let's do 1 Entangle. We'll do 1 Spike Growth. Get a Zone of Sweet Air. let's grab giant insect. And for the record, with a druid, your first 2 level 5 spells always, 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 always should be Insect Plague and Iron Skins. And for anyone who doesn't know what Insect Plague is, for the duration of the spell, those affected suffer 1 point of piercing damage per second and fight with a -2 penalty to attack rolls and armor class. In addition, each round, the victim must save versus breath weapon or suffer or at -2 or suffer 100% chance of spell failure, and must save versus spell at -2 or run in panic. This thing is stupid good. This thing is stupid good. Creatures protected from damage such as by Stone Skin spell are unaffected by the secondary effects as long as the protection lasts. And I do believe SCS also includes you know what? There's another mod that I think I'm missing now that I think of it. Ascension. I need to see if I have Ascension, which also adds a degree of difficulty to Baldur's Gate 2. I don't know if it's just Throne of Baal or if it's Shadows of Am as well, but I'll double check that, and I might add Ascension to my mod list after this recording. But so either SCS or Ascension make it to where if you have either of the fire shields, like Fire Shield Red, Fire Shield Blue, it will kill all the insects from Insect Plague and from Summon Insects, which is like a watered down version of Insect Plague. But yeah, Little Miss Emmeline, don't need Identify. You don't need armor either. Go all magic missile. Strength of 1 can go. Definitely want 2 webs. Don't need Stinking Cloud. Go 1 mirror image. And a Melf's. Don't need Melf's. 2 mirror images. Do not want Lightning Bolt. We'll keep Haste. We'll also do a Fireball. Two Stone Skins. Chaos. Good to go. So we'll go ahead.
Enough.
Do a quick save here, and then I don't like this because it just makes no sense, but to show the little cutscene where Emmeline tells you how brave, aka crazy, you are for doing this, plus getting proper spells, because we increased the difficulty. I'm probably going to need these spells, so let's rest.
I've gotta hand it to you. You sure have some kind of courage to sleep in this place. I would have run screaming a dozen times over if you weren't here.
Well, we needed the rest to succeed. We had to take the chance. I guess I should be used to sleeping with both eyes open. I don't deal with this well. We're alike because of Gorion, but I prefer being in the background. Perhaps, though I remember you not hesitating to step up front when needed. Well, when people are in danger, sure. Winthrop taught me how to get out of trouble, but Gorion always said there are times when it's worth getting into. Well, right now we're in danger, and I guess we should work on getting out. Let's go. Yeah, you're right. I don't want to spend another second more in this place than I have to. My head still hurts, and I keep seeing things in corners and such. Okay. Jesus. So, Jaheira, we're going to go ahead and cast Iron Skin. This room is dominated by mineral deposits and crystals. It seems to be a natural cavern that this strange prison has built around. The air holds an aura of power, and several pools with swirling lights grace the edge of the rough cavern. A talk? Minsk, welcome. You've escaped somewhat later than I had hoped. I am a talk. I'm probably butchering that name, sorry. Feel free to correct me. Ah, I see whom I must talk to. No offense, Minsk, but I'm curious as to how Thalik will react to me. Thalik, I have questions. Be not afraid. You have my welcome to my little piece of this place. I do so try to keep it more appealing than the rest. Oh, my thanks. How is it you know my name? And what's going on here? Your name is well known amongst those who watch. Your life's thread is bright indeed, though your path lies many a dark and frayed end. As to easing your mind and answering such questions as those that surely plague you, it is not my place to do so. I am sorry. Then what use of you can you be to me? Such assistance as you will get from me depends on yourself. Are you prepared to answer a question? Well, I'll answer your question if it leads to you making some sense. Then here is my hypothetical question. You and your sibling are captured and locked in separate cells, unable to communicate. The mage responsible appears and speaks. He explains his sadistic game. In each cell, there is a magical button. If you press your button and your sibling does not, you will die. But your sibling is free. If your sibling presses the button and you do not, they will die, but you will go free. If neither you nor your sibling presses the buttons, both of you will die. If both of you press your respective buttons, both of you will die. The mage says that you have one turn of the hourglass to decide your action, and then he leaves. This is silly. Buttons are not how one escapes dungeons. I would smash the button and rain beatings liberally down on the wizard for playing such a trick. Verily, of that I have no doubt, Minsk. But the question is hypothetical and requires an answer born of the wisdom of Thalik, not your impatience. Tell me, Thalik, do you press the button? I will press the button. Interesting. No action can be performed without consequences, especially that which follows the noble path. Deal with this, noble one. So he summons an ogre mage, and with SCS, he gets his pre-buffs. Stone Skin, Shield, Haste, Mirror Image. So
What is your will? Fine.
So let's take a look at this ogre mage, and you'll see here that if we still have the mod that if we hold shift, we can see that he's hasted, mirror image, shield, stone skin, and you can see all of his buffs over here. And haste for some reason is not showing up. I don't know why, but when you look down here, it wasn't cast. Oh, it was cast previously. So regardless, I don't know why. But it does show the numbers. So there's 60 seconds on Stone Skin. Or 59.9. Anyway, it does show durations. I don't know if that's turns or rounds. Now that I think of it, I think it might be rounds. But regardless, he's got 3 attacks per round. Armor class of 2, Thaco a 10. He's got a bastard sword, but it's a +0. He has no immunities, which is great. He is a lawful evil character. So that tells me that's good information to have. He's worth 650 experience. So since he's lawful evil, I do want Thallic. Sorry, I'm gonna clip this edge a lot. So Thallic can cast protection from evil on himself. Minsk. You don't need to use that just yet. Yeah, don't use that just yet. We're not gonna rage on him either. Jaheira. I'm trying to think of who else we're going to encounter here. Give me an insect plague on him, so we can interrupt some spells. Imoen. Go ahead and magic missile him so we can get some of those mirror images down. Okay, Thallic attack. Minsko attack. Okay. There goes Insect Plague. Oh, Stone Skin cancels Insect Plague. I'm so good at this game. And as for anyone who didn't see any of my other playthroughs, you'll notice that there's a red bar here. That's for her detecting illusion and for finding traps. What is your detect illusion? Terrible. And then once we cast a spell, we'll cast another one. You'll see a blue bar, and that tells you how long you have left in the round before you could use another item, drink another potion, cast another spell. There we go. So I'm curious. Oh, that's right, the secondary effects. That's what he's a... Okay, perfect. Oh, he can see invisible too. I just noticed that. Fantastic.
What?
Now he's panicking. So now everyone can get on him. Oh, he's not panicking anymore. Goodbye. Thallic. You sneaky son of a bitch. Turn that off. Well done. It appears you can deal with the consequences of your actions. In return for your indulgence, I offer advice. Seek out Rylev. He awaits for such as you. Offer him the release that he craves, and you shall find that the focus of your journey shall soon become apparent. Farewell. Okay. So we're a little bit past time. But, yeah. I think what I'm going to do before I start up the next episode, I'm going to double check to see if I have the Ascension mod. And if I don't, I'm going to download it.
Properly cleansed and balanced.
And that Ascension mod changes up a few different things, makes certain fights more challenging. It's basically like SCS, but for Baldur's Gate 2 specifically, and changes things that, you know, they make sense, stuff like that. So yeah, anyway, I'll double check all that, and I think forget that part. Anyway, so thank you for watching. And as usual, if you have any comments, suggestions, tips, anything, let me know in the comment section. Would love to hear from you. And I hope you all join me for the next one.